Okay, so if you've done any day trading, you've probably noticed that managing your chart windows is a bit of a pain, and it certainly could be better. Windows does have a built-in snapping feature where you can hold down the Windows key on your keyboard and then press the left or right arrow key, and you'll get 50% coverage on the left-hand side of the screen if you use the left arrow button. And similarly, if you click on another window here, for example, and bring the window to the foreground and use the Windows key and the right arrow, you'll have it use 50% of the screen. Of course, I've already done that, so that's why that happened. This works, but it's not quite as good as some of the third-party desktop window management solutions out there. It's certainly better than using the Windows taskbar here at the bottom, looking at these small thumbnails and guessing which chart you want to bring to the foreground. Now, this is all a problem that's much more common for people who use just one computer screen. So if you have multiple monitors, chances are you've saved your ideal arrangement of charts as a workspace. But for those of you who want to reconfigure or want to try using a third-party desktop Windows manager, keep watching. There are two window managers I recommend. You would probably go with one or the other. The first one is called GridMove. It's free and it's open source. The website is dcmembers.com/JGPAIVA. We will put that URL in the bottom area below the video, so look for that link. The second window manager is called Divi. The website is mizage.com/WINDIVVY. This one is free as a trial, and then you have to pay about $14. In my experience, this one may be a little easier to use, but this certainly does the job, GridMove. So we will look at both in a minute. I will say that I did take a look at the Fancy Zones option, and it wasn't any good because it doesn't recognize the chart windows, which is really the main point of what you want to organize. The same is true for Window Grid and Aquasnap. So avoid those three, at least for NinjaTrader, because they all fail to recognize the chart windows. But these two seem to work fine. The first time you run GridMove, it will let you know it's the first time that you run GridMove, and then it will be found in the bottom right corner of your screen. Click on the up arrow, and then you'll see here the GridMove icon. Click on that. You won't really see much of anything. You have to right-click, and then you will see, most importantly, this templates area. Now with GridMove, you have to use one of the predefined templates, and hopefully this will match up with what you have in mind for how you want to arrange your charts. For example, if you want to stack your charts on top of one another, click on this two-part horizontal template. Now that template is enabled, and we can drag one of these charts, and hopefully the software down here, GridMove, will recognize that we're trying to perform a maneuver, and it will pop up like you see it here and allow us to place this chart either in the top or the bottom portion of the screen. So let's select the top. Let's click another chart and try to move this one to the bottom. I've noticed that in my testing that it's a bit resistant to dragging, so you may have to try to resize the chart. Sometimes that triggers it. Other times you may just spend a few seconds until it sort of randomly pops up. And that's what happened here, and now I can place it on the bottom. So we have one chart stacked on top of another. That may get frustrating, so you might want to go back to the control center once you have it configured the way you want. Go to Workspaces and save the workspace. Save as, type in a new name if you want. That's after you get everything the way you want it. In my opinion, the other software is much easier to use, this Divi one, and let's cover that now. Right away, Divi recognizes that we have a NinjaTrader window in the foreground, and it's basically asking us, where do you want to put this window? It gives us a display grid. So what we can do now is click and drag within the display grid, and the chart will find itself there, or whatever window I have in the foreground. So let's see which one that is. let's click and drag from this square to the bottom. And yes, it was the chart, and that's where it moved. So I have something in mind already. Normally, I like to trade with the Superdome on the right side of the screen, and let's have the 3 charts stacked vertically. So this first chart, let's put that someplace over here. Let's go down to the Windows tray, click on Divi, and since we last clicked on the chart, we can position it where we want. So let's have it cover the left side of the screen all the way up to, I would say right about there, because that gives the Superdome enough room on the right hand side. So very good. And now let's click on the Superdome, go down here, click on Divi, and select where you want it. That would be an overlap, so let's just bring it down this way here, the full length. Very good. That seems usable. Okay, now let's load up those other charts. This is our next one. Same thing. Let's put this one below, starting here. And the final chart. Okay, this looks pretty good. Let's not forget the control center. But I like to leave this minimized most of the time anyway. I know where it is and I can easily go down there. So at this point, I would definitely save this workspace. I like the way everything's configured. And that's a much cleaner way to use NinjaTrader and certainly your indicators like we have here. 2 more useful features with NinjaTrader charts that you might not be aware of. On the bottom of the chart window, you can see this area here to create a new tab. In NinjaTrader 8, each chart can be contained in a tab instead of a floating window. So it's useful if you want to have different time frames for the same market. For example, that's one way to think about having various tabs. Or maybe you want to keep the time frame the same but use different instruments. That's another option you can think of as well. So you can have a whole series of tabs going along the bottom of a chart, and that will save you from configuring multiple windows like we did today. Another thing you might not know, to duplicate a chart, all you have to do is right-click in the top area of the chart window and go to Duplicate Window, and sure enough, you have a chart with the same settings. So this is a 150 tick chart without many indicators. Let's try it with this one here that's running the trade scalper. Right click, duplicate, and yes, same thing. And it should also work for this 5-minute chart that's using the Atlas line. And yep, those are the signals. Thanks for watching.
If you're interested in joining the next mentorship class, it begins June 22nd, about 2 weeks from now. We include all the software, all the courses in one discounted package. So really it's a good price for everything that you're getting. 8 weeks. All the classes are recorded in case you can't attend live. We do offer full support. We install the software and the courses for you if you need help with remote installation. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. support@DayTradeToWin.com. My name is John Paul. Remember, if you like these videos, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next class. Thank you.